makers around, and I'm sure at this time of day everybody is negotiating traffic. But we must convene the evening and that we've established the time. And if you're going to establish the time, honor the time. If you're not going to honor the time, do not establish the time. So since we established the time, we'll honor the time. All right? And we will be prepared to receive him. And I need Brother Napoleon better situated over there to face the audience square. You have to move these back. Do what you have to do. I want to present the panel of moderators who will conduct this event tonight. They are no strangers to the city of Detroit. Mr. Bankerley Thompson is the chief editor for the Michigan Chronicle and award-winning editor. Let us show him some love and receive him tonight. And the voice for Detroit, the one and only and incomparable Mildred Gaddis. Inside Detroit, show her some love. I'm going to turn it over to them, and they will introduce each candidate who has been instructed as of what they will do from this point forward. All right?
Thank you very much. Good evening, and we are happy to be here with you this evening. We just want to take a moment here and explain to you the rules of engagement this evening. What we're going to do is begin and end this forum. This is not a debate, it is a forum, alphabetically. We're going to go by surnames alphabetically. Bankerley Thompson and I will ask each of you questions. And these questions are questions that have come from people around the city of Detroit about their concerns. Preceding that, however, each candidate will open with a 1-minute statement to the people attending this evening. Our anticipated goal is for this to last 90 minutes. And when and if Mr. Barrow shows up, he will become a part of this forum at the stage in which he enters. Are we clear on that?
All right, come on.
So the participants this evening, Attorney Crystal Crittenden, who is a former corporation counsel for the city of Detroit. State Representative Lisa Howes. Former CEO attorney, he's an attorney, Mike Dutton. State Representative Fred Durhall. Former Detroit Police Chief, attorney, and Wayne County Sheriff Benny Napoleon. We open the forum with an opening statement from Attorney Crystal Crittenden.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Crystal Crittenden. I'm the former corporation counsel for the City of Detroit Law Department. I'm someone who is going to start picking down Tom Barrow up and bringing him to these forums because I do know that B comes before C. I have worked for the City of Detroit since 1994. I am a proud daughter of the City of Detroit. Graduate of Cass Technical High School. A couple of my opponents up here also went to Cass Tech. So I then went to Wayne State University and the Detroit College of Law. I'm running for mayor because I noticed that there is a void of leadership who will stand up for the people here in the city of Detroit as we go through this transformation. So thank you.
Thank you all for being here tonight. This is the kind of turnout we've had everywhere, and it shows the level of interest that the people of this community have in this campaign. I'm running because I just got tired of watching the same old same old. It seems like we can't solve problems in this community, but we get excuses. We can't solve the finances because we don't have enough money. We can't deal with abandoned houses because we don't have a solution. We can't deal with the crime issue because we don't have enough police. And my track record has been, whether it's been in Wayne County, or whether it's been the smart bus system, or whether it's been at DMC. When we had financial crises, when we had problems, we worked as a team and we solved them. And I hope we can bring that same kind of teamwork to the city of Detroit.
When Tom Barrow entered the room, he would begin at the stage in which he entered. Fred Durhall has graciously allowed Tom Barrow to go before him. And Mr. Barrow, you can make your 1-minute opening statement, please.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry I was coming from out of town in the client meeting, so I'm sorry I was there too late. But I was actually in Cleveland. I was in Cleveland. But first, let me thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I will cut right to it. Our city is in a crisis. We're under attack from all over, from all corners. With the false flag operation of this fiscal emergency, which is a fake, contrived, phony, put-up operation, we're under attack by conservatives. And they need to have a person, one of their people, a closet person. The man sitting right there from Livonia is the one they want to take over after Dave Beatty. He is Beatty 2.0. And the worst thing we could do, and one of these up here, is better than that. And so we need to make sure that we take our city back. It is important.
State Representative Fred Durhall.
I don't know how to follow what you said. I would say, I'm State Representative Fred Durhall. I've served in the Michigan legislature for the last 5 years, and I am the dean of the Michigan legislature, which means I'm the old guy in the bunch. I've got experience that goes back in the city of Detroit for 30 years. I served under Mayor Coleman Alexander Young, the greatest mayor this city has ever had. I learned about how government ought to function and work. I guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, when you elect Fred Durhall as mayor, I will fix the problem. It's a deep problem that we have, but it can be fixed, and I will fix it.
State Representative Lisa House.
Former state representative, but thank you for continuing to bestow that honor upon me. Good evening, everyone. It is clear that everyone is here for change, otherwise you wouldn't be in this audience. How many of you are tired of the status quo? How many of you are tired of business as usual in the city of Detroit? Well, I am Lisa House. I'm running for mayor, and I'm not only running, I'm running to win the office of mayor in the city of Detroit. For me, carrying out the duties of mayor is about public service, not self-service. So what services do you deserve here in the city of Detroit? You deserve to have the police to come when you call. You deserve to have your street lights on when you go outside. You deserve to have the trash picked up on a timely basis, and you deserve a bus that comes to your stop on time. Lisa Howe will deliver those services to you. Why? Because every service requires money, and I am the one who can count.
Sheriff Benny Napoleon.
First and foremost, thank you, Mildred and Nicolay, and to the great shepherd of this house. I appreciate having the opportunity to be here this evening. Let's be just honest. We have some very serious issues in this country. We have blight, we have education issues with our children, we have economic devastation, but we can fix all of that. But if you are not safe in your home, if you can't plant flowers in front of your home, if you cannot go to church and worship, if you cannot stand at a bus stop and catch a bus, if you cannot go to a park with your children, if you are not safe, I don't care what you do in this community, it really won't matter. All of this stuff that you're going to hear today is fine. We've got a lot of people here, very capable folks. I like them all. But the fact of the matter is, I, as a lifelong Detroit to know one thing. That when my grandson leaves the house, I want to make sure he comes back the way he left.
We will now begin with the questions. Baker Lee Thompson.
All right, let's go to Tom Barrow. Mr. Barrow, let's deal with small businesses for now. Much has been discussed about public safety and, the big issues, but small businesses have not been on the radar recently. What will you do outside of the private sector as mayor of Detroit to create more small businesses in the city?
Thank you very much for the question, John. First, let me say that I'm the only person that's up here, the only one, that has started a business from scratch, that has hired hundreds of employees, that has grown a business. I will be able to do that. The problem with small businesses here in Detroit is that nobody cares about us. We don't have access to capital. We have great ideas, but we can't get a bank loan any place. I'm going to create jobs for ourselves. So here's one of the things I'm going to propose. I only got a minute to do it, but I have a whole lot of ideas. First, we're going to create nonprofit housing corporations. Not just one, but lots and lots of them. We're going to take these houses on the block that are run down, but that are still good. And then we're going to hire ex-offenders, and we're going to fix up these houses. And then when we fix them up, we're going to turn around and sell them and buy another house. Not just one, but dozens and dozens and dozens of these nonprofit organizations. Nonprofit doesn't mean you don't make money, it just means it's not taxed. We're going to create hundreds of jobs, and jobs for these ex-offenders who want to come back to their families, who want to be productive, and that everybody is just ignoring them because they don't relate to them. We can do this ourselves. We don't need anybody else, and I have to stop right now. But I got a lot more in me.
Attorney Crittenden, how do you assess your position as mayor of the city of Detroit if elected under the emergency manager? Do you see your role as one to immediately move to get rid of the emergency manager or to assume full leadership when he leaves?
I am going to continue to work to get rid of him before anybody takes office in January of 2014. The emergency manager should not be here. He is here illegally. 82% of the people in this city went to the polls and said we did not want emergency management. 52% of the people in the state of Michigan did it, and here we are now, less than 4 or 5 months later, Mr. Orr is sitting on the 11th floor payment. I'm going to continue to work when, hopefully by January 2014, the court would have answered this question and he will be gone, but if not, I'm going to work to make sure the Supreme Court of the United States issues an opinion to get rid of emergency managers.
Mike Douglas, the trouble with schools has become one poster child for what is wrong with public education across the country. You can have a successful city without having a successful educational system. What do you think about the current system, and what will you do to address the crisis of DPS under the emergency manager?
I think we need to be honest about what city government can do and what city government can't do. The next mayor is going to have so much on his or her plate to get the violence down, to get the street lights on, and get the abandoned houses occupied. I do not believe the mayor should be taking over the schools. What I do believe is the mayor should be the best partner DPS ever had. For sure, we need to finally get down these abandoned buildings that our children are walking past every day to get to their schools. It's an open and dangerous situation. And we need to do programs like what I did at the Detroit Medical Center, where we started a program called Project Genesis, where we hired 100 Detroit Public School high school kids for the summer for $10 an hour jobs to work in our hospitals to expose these young people to medicine. 7 years later, we have kids who started as high school juniors who are in medical school today, who are biology majors at Wayne State today, who are full-time MRI or CT techs at Harvard today. And I want to go to the businesses across this town and urge them all to offer those kinds of opportunities to children when they're 15 or 16 or 17 years old.
Representative Hall. SimCog will be voting to fund the expansions of I-94 and I-75. Do you support or oppose this plan, and why?
I actually voted on their plan in the legislature, and I voted no. And I voted no because there were many, many questions about authority and who was going to be able to have the most vote in SimCog situation. And
Take it off.
got left out.
Take it off.
And I thought that it was wrong to do so. Yes, we do need rapid transit. Yes, we do need a solution to the problem. I don't see giving up our ability to be able to set the policies and set the rules as something that we should have done. And so I voted no. I have no apology for voting no. I thought it was the right thing to do, and I could again if I had to, given the circumstances that we are.
Mr. House, specifically again, outside of the private sector, what will you do specifically as mayor of Detroit to attract jobs to the city?
My jobs plan starts with, first of all, my crime plan. No business is going to locate to the city of Detroit without it first being safe. Second, that we have education, an education pool that can fill those jobs. So from a crime plan standpoint, we'll get into that. But it must be safe to attract them here. 2, you have to have an educated workforce to fill those jobs. And how we began building our job base here is, at the center of my economic development plan, is City Airport. It's not too far from here. It's right here in the middle of this community. That will allow us to take advantage of a $150 billion industry, which is the global transportation, logistics, and distribution industry. We're talking about putting 10,000 people back to work so that they can take care of their families. Number one, pay taxes in this city. Working people pay taxes. They take care of their homes. They pay taxes to do that, to send their children to school. So, and also, we must build an entrepreneurial spirit here in the city of Detroit, because the best job that you can have is the one that you create on your own.
Chair Napoleon, everybody's survey indicates that the number one concern Detroiters have is safety. Crime at the top of the list. There has been, the emergency manager has hired a new police chief. What's your game plan for putting more police on the street? Detroit police officers are the most underpaid in the country, and they're being forced to work 12-hour work days with less money. How do you make it happen?
Well, first and foremost, you have to understand about police deployment. You have to understand why it is difficult for you to get a police car in the first place. The fact is, we do not have enough officers in the city of Detroit. I said that when I retired, and I maintain it. Until such time as we start taking public safety serious and recognize that we've got some issues with the staffing of that agency, you're going to continue to see a community that's plagued with violent crime. But getting to the solution, there's some fundamental things we have to understand. A, that we have 143 square miles, we have 100,000 prevalent crimes per year, and we have over $1.5 million calls for service. You have issues with things called call stacking and other issues. We're going to, under my plan, I have a square mile initiative that will address all the issues as it relates to violent crime. I was able to reduce crime by over 30% while I was the police chief. I pledge to the community of the city of Detroit that you give me 4 years, it'll be down by 50%, and that's a problem.